Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
As a member of the Outsidaz, you ended up releasing a couple kind of phenomenal projects in the early 2000s. Nightlife, which kind of exists as an EP, as well as The Bricks in 2001. What happened here ultimately? Like, why did the Outsidaz end up stop recording group material post 2001? You had the push from various Eminem tours. You had the 8 Mile soundtrack, which came out a little bit after. Why not follow up the hype and record something new with the Outsidaz afterwards?
Well, you know, the Outsidaz, you know, it's a lot of people, a lot of different personalities, and like it is with every group. And, you know, I feel like the reason that we had stopped, you know, the label had stopped messing with us because we was on a House of Blues tour in, you know, in the U.S. of all the House of Blueses. And, you know, Outsidaz, you know, bringing a lot of girls backstage, doing this and that. So they actually told us we can't bring any more girls backstage. And then the show, I think it was in Chicago, after the show was over, you know, I'm chilling upstairs with DU, and people came upstairs like the Outsidaz was fighting downstairs. So I ran downstairs, and the Outsidaz was fighting with security, like literally fighting because they wanted to bring girls upstairs after they already told us we couldn't. And so the very next show was in LA with what a record label was. And so they had everybody prepared to come to the show, and they would not let us in the building. So that made the labels slow down on messing with us. And that's what everything slowed down right there.
But within the crew, you guys were all still tight, right? Like, I know you and Pace have had a strong relationship over the years. Nothing happened within the group kind of dynamic then. It was label interest mostly?
Yeah, nothing happened with the group. We all still, you know, did music together separately because we actually, the Outsidaz was a bunch of people that was in groups. Like, I was a solo artist, you know, Pace had his group, DU had his group, Digga had her group, and we just all came together as the Outsidaz, but we still had our different groups. So I think that's around the time where everybody started focusing on their own group.
Yeah, I never really thought about the Outsidaz as that before. I always kind of figured them as more of an organic hip-hop group, but as you're describing it, it more seems like a super group kind of I don't know, top-tier MCs from different collectives all kind of coming together for one. Is that how you always kind of saw the Outsidaz?
Well, I mean, that's how we actually were. That's how we met. You know, I met Pace and DU at a New Year's party, and in the party, I didn't really know nobody. Huh?
And DU was already part of another group, right? At that period?
Yeah, and so was Pace. Pace had this group called The Real Characters, and DU had this group called The Teammates. And so, you know, I met them at this party. I'm there with these girls, and they just chilling there, too. Started talking about music. We went outside and started rapping, and ended up me, Pace, and DU was the best one. So we started, you know, hanging out, doing music together. And then, you know, we ultimately came up with the name, like, we should all be one group. All the groups combined should be one group. And that's where we came up with the Outsidaz at.
Man, it was beautiful chemistry overall.
Was a big influence.
Right now she on an elevator. I'm not trying to waste your time or give you all of mine. I just wanna vibe with your vibes. I don't wanna keep your heart, but I can tell you where to start. I just wanna vibe with your vibes.